Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today I'm back with another episode in my Hidden Gems series where I cover a series of records that are pretty obscured, overlooked, or I think should be pointed in your direction. And today we're going to talk about the self-titled album from Yayayi. Now, this is the kind of stuff that I like to run across when I'm looking for new music. This album originally came out in 2013, and I didn't really hear anything about it up until recently. It was actually randomly suggested to me when I was listening to an album through Apple Music, and then this one popped up after that one ended. Now, this album certainly is categorized as an experimental hip-hop release, but it's easily one of the more deranged and stranger hip-hop albums I've run across so far, and it's one that just is hard to pin down given the time period that it came out. Now, if you take a look at the track list, this thing is huge. I mean, it's almost 20 tracks. It runs over 2 hours in length, and that's mainly thanks to the first 4 tracks basically being like an experimental exercise in noise and electronic music and hip-hop. Honestly, it just kind of feels like you're listening to a producer tinker around in the studio with a bunch of different random ideas, and then when those tracks kind of pass, you have all of these other tracks just kind of coming after you that don't have any titles. They're all just dashes that go in one direction or the other. And the track list is filled up with a bunch of remixes, actually, of famous hip-hop tracks that came out of the Bling era. You got Bone Thugs and Harmony in there. You have Little John in there, which is some of the more recognizable ones. And there's even Usher's Yeah. But these tracks have been so stretched out and displaced from their original versions that they feel like they're alien versions of these songs coming from Mars. And there's not really a ton of info about this album out there that I could dig up, really. So some of these tracks, I'm sure, could be recognizable to you, but I did not really know where some of them came from. So the first time I was listening to this, I actually thought some of these cuts were original. And then I got to the Lil Jon track and I was like, what the hell? Why is this in there? And again, this dropped in 2013. So I can't really tell if this album was meant to be a joke originally, because it almost feels like a parody of some of the Bling era hip hop stuff. But what's even more hilarious about the fact that this album could be a joke is that in 2022, I get a lot of enjoyment out of listening to it almost unironically, because I feel like a lot of the qualities of the production on here and some of the aesthetics have aged pretty well, actually. It almost come off ahead of the curve in a way, considering where everything in trap has gone recently. It almost feels at times like a project Lil Ugly Man would have had his hand in, but if you doused it in ketamine or something. Because this is one of those projects that you could consume and just listen to completely sober, but it would make you feel like you're on one of these drugs. I mean, it's very, very strange at times. Now, if you didn't want to just jump right into this record because it's pretty intimidating looking, probably start on the 10th track, which is a bunch of dashes with a 6 at the end of it. It's easily the most well-developed feeling track in the mix. It has some pop tendencies to it as well. It's actually really, really catchy. But again, the vocals are really just slowed down, chopped and screwed. Everything just is really deranged. It has a filter on it. And what's even hilarious is I actually enjoy the remix of Usher's Yeah on here with Lil Jon and Ludacris. I mean, the way that this whole track has just kind of pitch shifted down, it actually makes Usher's vocal performance on the chorus just seem so much more emotional and heartfelt, which is such a strange juxtaposition because this track was always played in the club and everybody'd be like, yeah, this is a great track. Everybody's super happy. But then you hear this version and it's you're in the feels, man. Oh, and to close out the project, another track I really, really wanted to highlight for you was the 17th track. It's an instrumental cut, but man, it is just so enjoyable to listen to. I love it so much. It's super catchy. It has some really bright samples in it that are high frequency, and then it's got some vocals that are woven in there. And again, I mean, it just has all the aesthetics that I enjoy from hip hop, just kind of run out over a 6.5 minute long instrumental that I can repeat over and over again and keep revisiting. So I just wanted to point you guys in the direction of this album if you hadn't run across it yet. I think it's a really enjoyable listen given the context of hip hop in 2022, and it's just kind of strange. It's a strange anomaly that I like to wrap my head around every once in a while. Now, this being a really obscured album overall, I did not see any physical releases of it out there, not even really a CD. Who knows? Maybe there's some bootleg copies. I'm not sure. But it is is on Apple Music, it is on Spotify, it's on YouTube in full, so it's very easy to access and stream, and it is listed under the comedy genre on Apple Music, so, But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this Yayayi self-titled album if you did check it out. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share, and if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.